everybody. Today I'm going to review the brand new Gen5X Reciprocating Saw made by RIDGID. Now this is model R8642 and I got it as part of a larger 5-piece toolkit that I did a preview video on, but I'm actually going to be solely focusing on this reciprocating saw in this review to show you exactly the different features of it, the different performance that you're going to expect to see out of it depending on what type of materials you're cutting through, as well as a lot of different runtime testing so you can see how much work you can get done on just one battery charge. Here's a closer look at the Recip Saw, and the first thing that I want to point out is the fact that everything gray that you see is going to be a rubbery overmold material that feels much like the bottom of your tennis shoe. Now the grip on the front, the grip on the rear, the side buffers, as well as the buffers around the battery release buttons are all a soft rubber material. And when you set this on its side, let's say on a customer's floor, you don't have to worry about it scratching anything up because the metal shoe, as well as any hard plastics, are not going to be touching the surfaces. On the top of it, they do have a selector switch that will allow you to alternate between orbital action being on or off, and this is not something you're typically going to see on a cordless saw. You typically can only see this on higher-end corded saws. That's going to allow you to cut through wood much faster. Now, on the front of it is going to be a tool-free blade change. So you don't need any special tools to install or remove blades. And then finally the shoe does pivot and it's also tool free. So let's say you've almost wore out your blade, then you can move the shoe out and start using a separate portion of the blade and still get the job done. You're not going to be burning up nearly as many blades because by moving this out, you can continue to use the same blade for a lot longer. Now the battery on this is going to be just like their other 18-volt tools on a slide rail system. So you just push the buttons in, it's going to slide right off. You can recharge this or swap it out with a fully charged one, slide it right back into place, and then you're going to be good to go. Now the last thing I want to point out is the actual LED light on the front of here. It can be activated when you pull the trigger, and that's also going to activate the saw. But let's say you just want to light something up and you don't want the saw blade to be going back and forth. They have a separate trigger underneath down here, and if we push in on that, you can see the LED light will light right up. So that's going to give you the option of using this really as a flashlight without the risk of turning that saw blade on and damaging something. I just slapped a brand new carbide tip metal cutting blade on here, and now let's see how it does slicing through this round tube. Next, we're going to test and see how it does cutting through nail-embedded wood. So there you go. The Gen5X was able to slice through over 100 nails. It did a very nice clean cut through the entire thing, and it did not overheat, stall, or slow down one time. Now all you need to do is pop a pruning blade on here, and then you'll be able to trim trees or bushes around your house. Now finally, I'm going to be doing runtime testing to see how many cuts we can get through standard 2x4s. "71 cuts on just one 4.0 amp hour battery charge." So now you've seen RIDGID's brand new Gen5X Reciprocating Saw for yourself. This did have a lot of power, and I gotta tell you, even through all the testing that I did, the only time I could get it to stall out is if I was pressing down on it really hard and then I pulled the trigger to start it. That would initially stall it out, and then after a few seconds, the internal computer does reset itself. But as far as when I was cutting through the wood, it never got overloaded or hung up. Even when we were doing that extreme case of the nail embedded wood, with over 100 nails, it was able to slice through everything. It didn't slow down, stall, or overheat one time. Now what's interesting, even though I showed you the runtime testing through the 2x4s, we actually did that in two different modes. We did it in orbital mode as well as non-orbital mode, just to see if there was going to be any difference in run times. Now the funny thing was, in both modes we got 71 cuts, but the difference of course is going to be your cut speed and cut quality. So if you do want to cut real fast but you're not really worried about the quality, you can switch it over to orbital mode and it will plow right through the wood. But if you do want a nice clean cut but not quite as fast, then put it on non-orbital mode and it's going to give you a much better quality cut every single time. Now this is covered by RIDGID's lifetime warranty, so as long as you do register it when you buy it, you're going to get free batteries, free parts, and free service for life. If you like this video, please click like. If you like my channel, please click subscribe. And thanks for watching.